Hi there, it's Lowell over to the province with another video edition of the fifth quarter coming tonight from Regina, where the Lions lose Saturday night 33-30 in overtime. A crucial loss for their aspirations of first place in the West Division. A devastating loss for their hopes to finish second in the West Division, I would think, given the fact that they are now 3 points back of both Calgary and Saskatchewan with 2 games to play. Story of the game, of course, would be Casey Printers, not just for how he started, but what he did at the end. A game that was a pretty good showing for a first time out was ended when he threw a bad pass, no other way to say it, a pass that was intended for Geroy Simon, who thought he was held in the end zone by Omar Morgan, but Printer said after the game he never saw James Patrick come in front of the throw, and the throw was intercepted. The game was over, and the Lions lose a game that they had in the bag 30-22 with about 4 minutes left after a Baron Miles interception in the game. Casey Printers, I thought, played pretty well. I thought he made better decisions than Travis Lulay did in his first start, and I think we have to remember that as much expectations as there were on Casey for a first time, he hadn't played in a year, and it showed. There were times, as Wally Buono said after the game, he played spectacular. There were times he was good, and there were times he made the kinds of throws that he shouldn't have made after the game. Casey Printers had copped to that. He thought that for a first time out, it was a good showing. And given the fact that he's basically playing a preseason game and his teammates were playing a playoff game, no excuses, of course. It was a game that the Lions had to have. He couldn't deliver. The Lions were 7 yards away from at least getting a field goal and sending the overtime into a second session, but he didn't do it. In the end, he threw for over 300 yards. He had 339 in the game, but he had 302 at the end of regulation, which I think is a better statistical measuring stick, given the way this league keeps stats. But 300 yards in 4 quarters, pretty good showing. The game not only was a devastating loss, but it's going to be one that's going to hurt the Lions on the injury front. Martel Mallett, ankle sprain or a strain. He was not effective. The Lions running game never got going. A.J. Harris was in the game, played a little bit, and I thought acquitted himself very, very well. The bigger injury, unfortunately, will be to that of center Angus Reid, who said that he's pretty sure he has a broken right foot. He played the second half. He broke it in the third quarter. He came back in the game, which was quite a testament to his fortitude. And he was basically hobbling around on one leg towards the end, and he's going to take x-rays on Sunday, but he's pretty sure that he will not be back for the game next Saturday against Calgary. So the Lions will have some adjustments to make on the offensive line. Andrew Jones filled in with Dean Valley moving to center towards the end, but maybe the Lions have to look a little deeper into their bullpen, as it were, and see if there's some others that might be able to come off the practice roster or injured list. So again, the Lions lose 33-30 to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a game that the defense, I thought, played pretty well, but folded down the stretch after the Baron Miles second interception for a touchdown. He was injured on the play, and King didn't come back, and that was pivotal as well. The Lions play at home, finally, against the Calgary Stampeders next Saturday night, and remains to be seen just exactly what the ramifications are for playoffs going forward, but it looks more and more that the Lions will be on the road if they're playing in the playoffs at all. That's the fifth quarter from Regina.